One of the governor that did not see victory this time around on a platter of gold like bread and butter is Governor Umaru Fintri. Governor Umaru Fintri had an embattled victory this time around. So he should thank all the people that made it happen for him easily his first tenure. Because this second tenure, man, Binani gave him water. And until they begin to get rescue and help. In fact, thank Atiku Abubakar for all the easy victory you got in your first tenure. Hello, beautiful people. You're especially welcome back to my political news of today. And if this is your first time coming across my channel, I say you're especially welcome. I remain your humble sister from another mother. My name is still Her Excellency of the Federal Republic of my Kingdom, Tahila the Great. Back to our political news. One man that saw victory in another dimension, what he never envisaged he could get this 2023 is Umaru Fintri. Senator Binani, his close rival from APC, gave him a shock absorber of the kind of politics we've never experienced in Nigeria. You see, as a woman, we always agitate or root out for women to come out and contest because most times the men make things so difficult for the women. You don't give the women a chance. So she saw it as an opportunity. The APC people kept telling her, you are going to be our first governor, first female governor, first female governor, on a mandate of a man who has been doing well, who wants to continue his second tenure. And you know Nigerian politics, they have pattern. They have pattern of when you have your first tenure, you finish your second tenure. I'm not saying that you cannot effect a change. I'm not saying that you will not defeat someone who is not doing well. But sometimes it is not always easy. And Senator Binani went out with all desperation. You could see when the INEC reg announced her illegally, even when the election was still ongoing. It's just like what they did in the presidential. Yes, let's announce Tinubu. Anybody that wants to go to court, go to court. That's the pattern. Everything now. If you are angry, go to court. Nigerian politics. Una they make me the shame. Una they make me the shame and they weep and they cry for this our country. Because in our 60-something years of independence, we are still going backward politically. We are not growing, no. It's even better we go to the military regime. Because what is happening in Nigerian political system is a shame. It's a shame and it's nothing to write home about. Because as it stands now, we are going 100 years, in fact, 60 years behind is what I have seen in this political era of what we are doing. And we're not helping matters. When we say we are giant of Africa, we should even sometimes pretend to even be the giant of Africa, even though we are sounding like ants of Africa. Because the system in this country right now is nothing to write home about. But then again, you are destroying the future of the younger generation. Because the way politics is now being played in Nigeria, INEC and the contestants, no, now in a civilized society, even though we know politics has not been easy to get, victory has not been easy. We either will show capacity one way or the other. Not this level of disgrace Nigeria is giving us every day. INEC stars and then political parties are giving us every day. This is becoming shameful. It's becoming shameful. But all the same, finally, Fintri was declared the winner of the election. And I'm about to play for you his passionate and emotional speech that he gave when he was declared winner. My people, una need to listen to this speech. Una need to listen to this speech when he's calling for peace and he's extending hand of fellowship. That is how politics should be. So guys, I want you to please listen to this his emotional speech from the beginning to the end. Let me hear your thoughts at the comment section. Please do not forget to tell a friend to subscribe to this channel. I remain your humble sister from another mother. My name is still Her Excellency of the Federal Republic of my Kingdom, Tahila the Great. Keep watching, keep liking, keep sharing. I'll be right back.
Fellow citizens of Adamawa State, today we are at a point where history is made. It is made because of you. It is made because you reaffirm your willingness to support the good works we have started in Adamawa State. It is made because we have reached a consensus that Adamawa State must work. It is made because we have collectively agreed that we desire a better Adamawa State that is lifted from the depths of despair to the great heights of hope. With the belief that, well, each of us will pursue our own individual dreams. We are an Adamawa family, and out of this family, each of us is at liberty to aspire to any height without any human hindrance. Welcome to the Adamawa State of our dreams. Here we decide the fate of our governance by ourselves. We rise, we fall together as one people. We have perfected the act of winning for our dear state. This time again, we won. Adamawa State won. On Saturday, the 18th of March, we went to the polls and made our choices. It was generally a peaceful election across the state. As one in charge of the security situation in the state, I cannot recall any report of a major security breach across the 4,104 polling units in the 226 wards of the 21 local government areas of the state. We did demonstrate that as citizens, we understand the value of civilized and rancor-free electoral process, which are the hallmarks of every ideal democracy. Fellow citizens, even though the first leg of the election was declared inconclusive, you remain resolute, but peaceful in the face of provocative triggers that will have otherwise landed us into flames. You maintained decorum and order. You demonstrated restraint and civility. You waited patiently for INEC to announce the date for the rerun election in the affected areas. And when it finally did, you went out undeterred again. On Saturday, 15th April, to conclude the process. The process was to be concluded with the election done at virus unit level, with collation done at the ward and local government levels. The state level collation, which started with the first 10 local government, was adjourned for Saturday, 16th of the same month. Just when everyone was ready to reconverge at 11 a.m. to take the remaining result of the 10 local government areas, the enemies of democracy, led by the resident electoral officer, emerged 2 hours before the appointed time to deliver the worst subversion of democratic process ever known to mankind, and what could be best described as provocative and insult to the collective sensibility of the people. Fellow citizens, what we all saw was a flagrant display of desperation, deliberate impunity, and crass opportunism, which is surrounded by a whole web of uncertainty. In the mix of all this, as your leader, I remain calm and appeal for same from you. I call for appreciatively hearken to. Once again, you have brought out our stoic and Spartan spirit as Adamawa people to bear. For this, I can't thank you enough. Thank you and thank you again. Fellow citizens, you did all this for us. You did all this for democracy. You did all this for our dear state. You did all this for the present generation and perhaps the generation yet unborn. You elected to vote for continuity in functional public school system and payment of WAEC and NECO for our children. You voted for continuity in provision of health care and health insurance that makes it easier for the vulnerable to access quality service with ease. You voted for continuity in the provision of urban and rural infrastructure. You voted for continuity of policies that empower our women and youths. You voted for continuity of justice and fair play. You voted for continuity of peace and security architecture that makes your life a priority. You voted for continuous onslaught against the nefarious urban miscreants known as Sheila Boys. You indeed voted for dignity of self-respect. I am forever indebted to you for choosing yourself and future of our dear state in this election. By this, you have proved that you are clear on what you want and desire. You are also clear on most civil way to get it. You have equally sent a message to the world that the power to govern Adamawa State is truly in the hands of Adamawa people, not in the manipulative imagination of the desperate politicians. It isn't equally in control of any self-imposed principality or extrafugal political forces who think they can form a fraternity outside the state to ram governance down your individual and collective thoughts. By the special grace of God, we have closed a chapter in the political history of the state. Moving forward, whoever desires to govern us must set the mandate to do so from us and here in Adamawa State. Nothing more or less, fellow citizens. The shore of love isn't only overwhelming, but loaded with expectation. I must confess, I'm humbled the more. I wouldn't take this for granted. I'm humble and for not just what you want. What you want is not anything less than what we have always offered, which is patriotic service. I pledge to serve you all the times. Irrespective of whichever way you voted, I appreciate you for participating and do assure you to expect equal treatment of service that does not discriminate. By the grace of God, I've emerged as the governor of all the good people of Adamawa State for another historic democratic term. I congratulate my co-contenders and the leadership of their respective parties for a hard-fought contest. For more than 6 months, we have crisscrossed the knocks and bounds of the state on a campaign that have been tough but exciting. We charged the political space and made the electorates conscious of the options before them, knowing fully well that one of us will emerge as the winner. I have personally never underrated any of you in this race. You may have battled fearlessly, but it isn't only we love this state deeply and we care so strongly about its future. I therefore extend a hand of friendship to all of you. I personally consider none of you a loser in this race. We're all winners because the people of Adamawa have spoken. The state has won. Democracy has won. As a man of faith, I have the firm belief that God, the Almighty, is the giver of power. He gives to whoever he wishes at the time he so decrees. It is with this in mind that I urge everyone to graciously, in circumstances like this, while I accept the mandate to serve you for the next democratic term of 4 years, inshallah, I assure you of my magnanimity at all times. I must, as always, wholeheartedly acknowledge everyone who's choose democracy and Adamawa State against any other pecuniary interest. As promised throughout my campaign, I want to rededicate this victory to the cause of lifting the standard of living and making life more meaningful for our people at all times. It is the people first. At this point, I want to commend the institutional capacity of INEC in this election, even though the attitude of some of their personnel falls short of standard expectation. I have resisted the pressure to let that define the umpire status of the commission. The technological innovation introduced into the conduct of the election and the untiring commitment of the management and staff of the Commission have added tremendous value to the credibility of this election. The fact that the INEC headquarters was swift in disowning the illegal action of the REC was the grace that nullified what was more of a coup perpetrated by political overzealous upstarts. In spite of everything, the decision to come back and conclude the process on Tuesday, today, the 18th, has redeemed the image of the Commission and ignites the confidence that there is still hope for democracy in Nigeria. I equally commend the watchful role of the international community, election monitors and observers, journalists and civil society organizations for being on their toes, spicing the election with vigilance and ensuring right thing is done. There indeed can be a better way to deepen our democracy than this, by standing on the side of the truth and insisting that INEC must come and dutifully finish what it started in line with the stipulated guideline, has not only saved democracy, but saved the state from unwarranted violence. At all times, I extend my hands of partnership to you. I'm particularly happy with the conclusion and declaration of the result. At last, Adamawa State will be out of the news of embarrassing electoral infamy which has dominated the space in recent times. To our development partners, especially the national and international NGOs who were compelled to order the suspension of their activities for the election period, I must again reiterate that the decision was well intended and done in good faith, in the overall interest of all parties. Now that the election are done and over, our doors are open to every partnership that is beneficial to our people. The combined efforts of our security forces and their high commands in providing the needed atmosphere of peace throughout the election and even waiting period is highly commendable. Their exhibition of professional conduct is undeniably praiseworthy. I thank the leadership of my great party, the PDP, for standing by us and ensuring that no amount of gang-up triumph against the will of the majority of Adamawa people. As always, the umbrella is big enough for all of us. To the best campaign team ever, the Adamawa State Presidential and Governorship Campaign Council, and all its organs, especially the cream of young men and women who had to keep a vigil in the Situation Room all nights and days while this campaign was running. I thank you for a job well done. We have run an issue-based campaign that makes all of us proud. We stood by our own and won the entire state for Atiku Abubakar and the PDP during the presidential election. We equally won 2 out of the 3 senatorial seats and 7 out of the 8 seats in the House of Representatives in the National Assembly election. The climax of this noble coordination and election management is in this victory and the victory of a majority of the seats in the State Assembly. You are indeed a squad I can go to the battlefield with anytime, any day. To a father and leader, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Waziring Adamawa, thank you, sir, for the support as always. This victory is a sign of greater things to come. We shall not rest until we wrestle your stolen mandate at the national level. I most sincerely commend the Deputy Governor, Chief Crowder said, Desianzo Bachama. He has been with us through thick and thin throughout the life of this administration. And indeed, the period of the electionary campaign, he is a gentleman par excellence and a great politician. He has made tremendous sacrifice in the service of the state and has demonstrated maturity at all times. The state and indeed the nation will continue to honor and thank him for a patriotic service well rendered. To Professor Kalepta Farauta, whom I had the honor of pulling out of her comfort zone, the university. to join me on this bumpy voyage. I say well done and thank you for trusting my instincts and judgment. We are going to work together and build on the foundation for Greater Adamawa State, which is already laid. To the members of the Fresh Air Cabinet, the commissioners, advisors, aides, and all those who are handy in the service of the state, as we anchor the ship of governance at the dock of the end of the first time, I thank you on behalf of Adamawa State. Our signatures are engraved on the development pages of the state, and we are all have every reason to look back individually and be proud that we collectively achieved so much within a short span as a team. The rest will leave for posterity to catalog. I wouldn't be the man that I am today without the woman I agreed to marry over 2 decades ago. Let me say this publicly. Lami, you have always given me the reason to love and cherish you more. The last campaign has made me prouder. I'm amazed to see you provide the kind of support you gave throughout the electionary period. Thank you so much, my dear. To my children, Faiza, Abdulhamid, Ismail, and Nana Aisha, to the rest of the world, I'm a governor. To the 4 of you, I'm your daddy. And this is the height of all I have ever wanted to be. The campaign period has truly disrupted this bound. I assure you, it is over, and Daddy is back for good. I am all yours again. Fellow citizens, I must, as a politician, apologize on behalf of all political class for putting you through this psychological trauma loaded with compulsive anxiety, especially over the last 5 days. However, but the situation as whoever is responsible for it, that person is still being called a politician, and I take responsibility for it. You certainly gave us your best by coming out to vote peacefully. The best way to reciprocate this civilized outing will have been to provide the necessary enablers for seamless and rancor-free process. Moving forward, we shall continue on the trajectory of the established philosophy of no one is left behind and nothing is left untouched. This way, Adamawa State shall continue to win more wins and democracy shall be entrenched. Thank you and God bless Adamawa State. Thank you.
My beautiful people, thank you all for watching Governor Fintir passionate and emotional speech. Please do not forget to like, comment, and share. I'll see you in my next video. Please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe to this channel. See you in my next video. Bye-bye.